similarities and difference between a deposit and a down payment in Canada. In Canadian real estate, a deposit is a sum of money paid as a good faith gesture when making an offer on a property, while a down payment is a larger sum paid at closing, reducing the mortgage amount. Typically, the deposit is a smaller amount, often around 5% of the purchase price, and it is added to the larger down payment at closing. This money is held in trust by the seller's agent or a legal professional and forms part of the down payment. In a mortgage transaction, the down payment is the larger amount, including the deposit, paid at the close of the transaction. The deposit is essentially part of the larger down payment. A more detailed breakdown follows. Deposit. 1. In relation to its purpose, it represents the buyer's equity in the property that serves as a security deposit, demonstrating the buyer's commitment to the seller and seriousness about buying the property. As compensation for the seller if the buyer backs out of the purchase deal, it is often accompanied by an offer. 2. In connection with timing, usually paid upon acceptance of offer or after conditions have been met. Sellers' real estate brokerages or lawyers can hold the funds in trust. 3. Here, regarding the amount, in most cases, this amount is a smaller percentage of the purchase price. 4. In relation to issue of refund, if the deal closes, it will be applied to the total down payment. The deposit, however, is not automatically refundable. Here, deposits may be refunded if certain conditions are not met. However, in the event that the deal falls through, the deposit may be forfeited to the seller. Down payment. 5. The purpose of down payment represents the buyer's equity in the property and reduces the amount the buyer needs to finance with a mortgage loan. 6. Payments are made at the closing of a transaction, when the property transfers ownership, meaning when title is transferred. 7. In most cases, the amount is determined by the government, often varying depending on the property value. For example, 5% for properties under $500,000, 10% for properties over $500,000, and 20% for properties over $1 million. Mortgage default insurance is not required in Ontario unless a minimum down payment is made. It is not necessary to obtain CMHC insurance when a 20% down payment is made, for example. 8. Down payment includes the initial deposit as well as any additional funds needed to reach the required down payment percentage. By doing so, it reduces the buyer's mortgage principal. To conclude, the key relationships and differences are as follows. In regard to the payment stage, deposits are initial payments paid upfront and credited to the total down payment, while down payments are paid at closing. In relation to their purposes, the deposit indicates seriousness, while the down payment indicates commitment, which contributes to overall financing. In relation to their amount, the deposit is a smaller upfront commitment to show good faith, whereas the down payment is a larger contribution towards the overall purchase price. Finally, deposits are applied to down payments at closing by deducting them from the total amount needed for down payments. To put it simply, imagine buying a house. Your offer includes a deposit to demonstrate your seriousness. Once the purchase is complete, you make the final payment of your down payment. Thank you for watching. For more resources like this, please subscribe to my YouTube video channel at Hagar HIAR Media. Disclaimer: this information is intended to provide general educational guidelines and should not be interpreted as a substitute for professional advice. The author of this article assumes no liability for any losses or damages, and neither assumes any responsibility for errors or omissions in the content. or for any actions resulting from the use or reliance on this information provided. You are encouraged to seek guidance from qualified professionals for any specific concerns or decisions.